We're going to start it out with Billy Bazar from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Billy, come on!
What's up, Muskogee? I better wake the hell up. Say, what's up, Muskogee? You guys ready to have a good time? My name is Billy Bazar. Thank you guys for coming out. We're going to try to make you laugh. At least a couple of us will. My last name is really Bazar. It's not a joke. It's not my stage name. It's not my stripper name, as the radio station was referring to. I've heard all the jokes, so you can save them. Grew up in South Carolina. Went to high school for 7 years. I finally, around year 7, they were like, Billy, we have to graduate you, because you're 21 now, you can't be on campus. So like, let's plan your future. So they set me down, and they were like, considering how long you have been here, college probably isn't in the books for you. So let's do something with that last name. So my guidance counselor wrote 3 things on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and said, I no longer need to see you anymore. And I looked at them, and those 3 things were the following: magician, stand-up comedian, or porn star. And I was like, really? Like 27 years later, I'm standing in front of the mirror crying one day, and I realized she had been right. Because I stand before you, failed porn star and failed magician. Try my hand at stand-up comedy. So be gentle, the other 2 were not. There's some places you shouldn't put a rabbit. How about this weather? My buddy is so excited that the weather went from 35 to 80 in 3 days earlier this week. They decided to have a big old cookout. Now this buddy doesn't get on Facebook a lot. He made a Facebook event. It was obvious by the way he worded his event title, he's not real smart when it comes to Facebook. He sent to all of his friends an event titled Sausage Party in My House. And then he made it worse, because in the description he put more sausage than you can fit in your mouth. So I was like, oh, you're not going to like the responses you get. So I explained to him where he might have messed up and lost some friends at. And the reason he said that wasn't because he's that stupid. It's because the guy, he said, I wanted to do something different. I was like, that's obvious from the title. He's like, no. I don't want to cook chicken. I don't want to cook steak. I want to cook sausages. That's exactly what my friend did. He cooked 443 sausages. I helped count them. And he had crazy, he had a sausage that had apple and cheese in it. That's not a sausage. But he had them all. He had hot legs, you name it. And he had one that a lot of you guys that have stopped at a gas station are probably familiar with. It's called a Cheddarworth sausage. Now, these are big old sausages that you grill up nice and hot, but inside there's a surprise. The surprise is cheese. Really hot cheese. I know this, because his wife was eating one. She must have been part cyborg. She was sitting across the table from me. She bit into it. And all the cheese exploded from the ass end of the sausage and hit me in the face. Got me in the eye. So you ladies, I get it. You guys are going to be a fun crowd. And after it happened, I was out of my element. Obviously, my porn training didn't have me prepared for this. And I screamed at her, hey, next time tell me it's coming. And I made that exchange way more creepier than it needed to be. I've actually got 3 daughters. I reproduced, imagine that. The oldest will be 14 next month. When I'm not doing comedy, every once in a while in Tulsa, I'll bounce at a bar, because I'm 42, and I bounce. It means I failed at life. But I had the oldest in the car with me the other day, and she was playing on her cell phone, and was playing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And she lost. So I was like, number 1, you're in 8th grade. How's that possible? And number 2, ha ha, you're not smarter than a 5th grader. I thought I had won. And my firstborn child looked at me with her big old blue eyes. She was like, you know what, Dad, you're right. I'm not smarter than a 5th grader, but I'm smarter than a bouncer. Yep, car bitch. That's not what I said to her. That's what I called her mom. That's why we're divorced. The other 2 will be 4. Exactly. In May, and they are identical twins. Way. This works, believe it or not. And I used to think they were cute. I really did. Recently, I watched The Shining again. Now they scare the shit out of me every time I see them. And I'm like waking up, looking down the hallway at 4 in the morning, and they're holding hands. And Daddy, you want to play? Get out. See, when you're 18, when you're not so evil, like your mother. I'm single, can't tell from that. So you guys seem to like stuff a little bit dirty. A little bit. I have been single for a while, and I made a promise to myself for my 41st birthday. I have been doing something that was very unhealthy to me. Unhealthy as a person, mentally and physically. That was, I was sticking my dick in crazy. A lot. Somebody needs to go to my support group, apparently. So. I have done it so much that my penis has an honorary degree in psychology. Now, I know a lot of people will claim that their spouse is crazy. I got you beat. Because my last serious relationship, my girlfriend, was weapons grade batshit insane. Let me explain to you. I learned a lesson when I dated this woman, and I thought, I'm in my 40s, I've learned all I'm going to learn about relationships. I learned this. If you're dating a woman in her late 20s, and early 30s, at some point in the relationship, she's going to hit you with a goddamn car. That's a true story. There was a Fiat, and it caught me in the hip. But it still sucked. Now, during this time that I've been single, I'm on the road a lot, doing comedy, and lived in a few places recently that I don't get good Wi-Fi. And that's led me to not watch porn in a long time. Because I know you look at me, you're like, right, you don't watch porn. Really don't. There's parts of Tulsa that the Wi-Fi is horrible. About 2 weeks ago, I was in a perfect hotel room with perfect Wi-Fi. Had really nice Bed Bath & Beyond lotion. I set the mood lighting. I was like, I'm gonna make up for lost time, baby. So I went to Pornhub.com, and I was so excited to be on the site that I just hit search. And when you do that and you don't fill anything in, the programmers of that site play a game with you that you lose. Because then the site picks the site that you're gonna masturbate to. And I lost that game. Because they chose for me a scene with a bald man and a bald woman. I'm not a prude. Maybe there's a story. They'll explain it. Plus the lotion was already on my hand. I wasn't gonna stop. So I kept going. About 3 or 4 minutes into it, my mind started going to crazy places. My first thought was it took them 25 years, but they finally made a porn parody of the horrible movie Powder from the 90s. A few of you have seen that? Joke's going good. Then I was like, I got really dark, and I said, maybe they all had lice and had to shave all the hair off their body. So obviously I couldn't focus on the problem at hand. So I closed the laptop, still frustrated. I realized, for some weird reason, I had a VCR in my car. So I got my VCR, plugged it into my TV, was ready to go again. Side note, there was already a porn tape in there. Surprise, I know. But this wasn't just any porn tape, folks. This was Billy's favorite scenes from the 70s and 80s, volume 43. Which made me question, where the hell are the other 42 volumes at? Push play, I realized something right off the bat. That I had not watched porn from the 70s and 80s in a very long time. Because I had forgot something. Back then, nobody ever shaved. Anywhere. I went from hardwood floors to shag carpet in 5 minutes. It was like everybody's crotches joined Al-Qaeda and went into hiding. Basically what I'm telling you is watching porn from the 70s and 80s is like watching a close-up of the entire cast of Duck Dynasty eating hot dogs really slow. Choke on that. Last year was a crazy year. I did learn something about myself. For many, many, many years, like 20 years plus, I thought that I was cursed when it came to concerts, and I'll explain to you. 20 plus years ago, I was stationed in San Diego, California, and we used to go to concerts for free all the time because they used to take care of us. We wore a uniform and let us in, so I got to see some great concerts. 2 years in a row, 94 and 95, I saw two unbelievable artists, and they both died a week after I saw them. Exactly. This gets dark, but it's like Willy Wonka and a boat ride. The payoff's great. So in 94, I saw Selena. You guys remember Selena? A week later, her manager killed her. I was like, well, that's weird. I didn't think anything of it. 1 year later, 95, I saw Sublime. A week later, the lead singer killed himself. I was like, I'm done with concerts because I like music. I didn't go to another concert for over 20 years. I realized last year that I was crazy. I was just superstitious. And apparently, I'm not jinxed. I'll tell you why. I saw Justin Bieber's ass 13 times, and that little shit's still walking around. Doesn't work anymore. How creepy is buying front row seats 13 times to make eye contact with him, to see him die. This summer, Bieber was on tour, or as I call him now, the Biebs, because I've seen him so many goddamn times. He was on tour, his bus broke down in Arizona. While they were waiting for somebody to come fix his bus, he decided to go for a stroll in the desert. Came across a church, according to the Biebs, he got baptized. And that's the day that I became an atheist. Because that minister had him under the water, could have finished the goddamn job, did the Lord's work, and he failed. If you can't catch on to the vibe, I hate Justin Bieber. I have 3 daughters. I got posters to look forward to for a long time. Speaking of music, my car was right before satellite radio came into play, so it's like ancient. And I still make mix CPs when I go on the road, because I'm classy. I realized lately that I gotta stop drinking when I do that, because I made the worst mix CD the last time me and Jack Daniels had an all-nighter. 1 CD, 2 artists, back to back to back. Now, by themselves, they're both great at what they do. But when you make a CD with nothing But Lil Wayne the rapper and George Strait the country crooner on it. That is a confusing ass car ride for 120 minutes. Because every 30 minutes you're like, do I call my ex or do I get high? Do I call my ex? Let's do both, because it'll make sense in the end. You guys having a good time? Just got some good comments coming behind me. Something else went on last year. I know you guys, I think, were affected by it too. But I know Tulsa was. People thought it would be funny to dress up as clowns and hide in the woods. I thought that stopped. It didn't. Last week, my daughter's school in Claremore, Oklahoma got shut down for an hour because there was an idiot in the woods. I went to the woods to talk to him. I'm going to share with you what I found out for free. Those costumes, those pieces of shit wear, they're highly flammable. You're welcome. Because all it takes is one flame on bozo and they'll stop doing it. Side note, this is just for me, that ex I was talking about earlier, she's actually in Muskogee this weekend, visiting her new boyfriend. She wears a lot of makeup. Might see her in the shadows. Go with your gut. That's all I'm telling you. But listen, hi, flame on, bitch. I'm out. Peace. I will leave you with this. Let's bring up the next comic. Earlier this week, a good friend of mine, he's been overseas fighting for our freedom for 3 years in Afghanistan. Came back home. And he messaged me and said, Billy, I haven't seen you in forever. I've known this guy for 25 years, most of my life. He said, I haven't seen you in 3 years. I know you're busy. At least that's what I tell him. He's like, I want to catch up with you. I was like, dude, I'll always make time for you. Come on over. On his way over, he messaged me and said, guess what I haven't had in 3 years? Now, let me explain something to you. I'm a comic. Immediately, the top 100 things went through my head of what he hadn't had in 3 years. Before I could reply with my top 10, he said, cherry lime made from sun. I said, not even close to what I was thinking about. He was like, hey, it's happy hour. Would you like something? I said, I would love a Coke. Send it. And no, that's what I sent him. He got, I would love your cock. Not what I sent! At all. I tried to fix it. I was like, oh, Samsung, why can't you just blow up in my face? Why'd you gotta do that?